It was a poor England performance, capped off by some kamikaze defending for Evangelos Pavlidis' second goal, which proved to be the winner in stoppage time, with England having equalised 3 minutes before the 90 were up. 03717 2233 That's the number to call us on this morning if you want to have your say on England's performance and on Lee Carsley as well. That's what Adam, the Liverpool fan, has done this morning. Morning to you, Adam. How are you?
Morning, Adam.
Morning, you okay?
Yeah, we're great this morning. What did you make of last night then?
So it wasn't good. I just think it's a bit of a massive overreaction, to be honest. In fairness, for 9 years under Southgate, we've seen the same thing. I think he's done a lot of good things, but we've seen the same thing in friendlies, nations, whatever you want to call them. Because they're basically friendlies, aren't they? So we've seen the same thing. There was no difference, whereas he tried something different. And it never worked. I think we were one player away from, I think that Angel Gomez just being in with Declan Rice would have made a massive difference. I don't think you can play Jude, Foden and Bellingham. And before, I want to say this, before the match yesterday, everyone who I think are meant to be knowledgeable, Gabby, Darren Bent, Alan Brazil, were all flagging off Jude Bellingham as the false nine. And that'll be the talk again today. That lad scored 20 plus goals for Real Madrid playing that position last season. We scored more goals than Ollie Watkins, so I think they need to maybe just watch the game a little bit more. So that weren't the issue. The issue was playing Foden Palmer in the midfield with Declan Rice, and he got isolated. And then you had Trent coming into the midfield and the other kid, Rico Lewis. And then the back two just got basically isolated because we had no centre midfielders. Basically, do you know what I mean? So that was the issue. I know it's only one player, but that would make a massive difference. But he tried something different. It never worked out. It's one player. Change it and see if it works. Just get off his back. Give the fella a chance. And one last question. Who would you have, all these fans, who would you have instead? Because Pep's not going to come. Klopp's not going to come. So who's this great manager who's going to come in anyway?
Good question that you raised there.
That's the other side of the argument. You know, there's that side, and then there's Gareth Southgate played two sitters for a reason. Boring to watch, boring to death, but gets to semi-finals and gets through games that you could throw away. Try not to beat yourself. So England, I thought last night, beat themselves.
Adam could call. Thank you very much for that. Let's bring in talkSPORT's voice of live football, Adrian Durham, who joins us this morning. How are you, Adrian?
Morning, Adrian.
Yeah, feeling great after that last night. Yeah,
I'm sure. Look, what was interesting there, Adam, was just saying, look, the reaction this morning has been an overreaction. Do you agree with that?
No, I do not agree with that at all. You've got to react to what's happened there. And when you think about it, step back and think about it, how many Wembley performances from England have been as bad as that? Because I can't think of many at all. The Hungary 0-4 at Molineux was probably worse. My feeling after we lost 3-2 at home to Croatia at Wembley and didn't qualify for Euro 2008, I felt worse then. But in terms of a performance at Wembley from an England side, I honestly cannot think of a worst one in my lifetime since I've been watching England. I can't think of a worse one. And it falls on Lee Carsley's head. He's kind of treated the job a little bit too relaxed. If he's happy going back to the under-21s, what on earth is he doing in the senior job anyway? So then I'm looking at the FA and wondering what they're doing. talkSPORT understands that neither Graham Potter, who's out of work, nor Eddie Howe, who's in a job, have in any way been approached by the FA. And if they haven't been approached by the FA, why on earth haven't they been approached by the FA? We've got less than 2 years before a World Cup. So what are the FA thinking of? Giving it to Lee Carsley when it's meant to be 6 games that get us promotion back to the top league in the Nations League. That isn't going to happen unless we get something extraordinary in Greece. So what a waste of 6 games this feels like it's going to be. So it's all very bizarre, but it was a shocker last night. Absolute shocker.
Adrian, I heard your conversation, which was brilliant, by the way, with Jim before the game, without hindsight. And Stuart Pearce was like the referee, and it turned into a bit of an argument. And I thought your point you made was correct. You were saying if Harry Kane was fit, he would have played. So why have you just not replaced Ollie Watkins with Harry Kane? Why have you changed the system? It was like as if there was no plan.
Yeah, agreed. And it was a big one for me because that you're dealing with players there. Now, Ollie Watkins has come on and scored a semi-final winner for England. At club level, he's having the time of his life. He's showing everybody what can be done. If you're playing that well in the Premier League and you're accepting that Harry Kane is ahead of you, which I think Ollie Watkins would accept, reluctantly maybe, but he'll accept that challenge. Harry Kane's not fit, you expect to start. Now, all right, you shouldn't expect things, but to be left out and then watch your teammates try to press. Ollie Watkins' work ethic is phenomenal, okay? He's one of the best of any England player out there. His pressing is phenomenal. And then he has to sit on the bench watching us half-heartedly go into a press. I'm thinking, well, what was Lee Carsley? What was going on in his head there? I'll tell my players to press and I'll leave the best presser on the bench. I wondered what it did to Ollie Watkins' mindset. I thought he was okay when he came on, but I would love to have seen him from the start. But you're right, Dean, there were other things wrong with that team. This isn't the benefit of hindsight. Before the game, I said there's no defensive mindset in midfield whatsoever. Proved to be correct. The other nuanced point was about fullbacks, who in themselves, I love Trent Alexander-Arnold. Didn't have a great game last night. First half was okay. Rico Lewis isn't a left back. We've got a problem at left back, which Lee Carsley denied before the game. We have a massive problem at left back. A coach has got to solve that. Though neither of those fullbacks are going to cover at centre back. And that's what England have been doing over the last few years. Kyle Walker shifting into centre back. Colwell has been at left back coming into centre back. Why Mark Gay didn't start, I don't know. So you had fullbacks who weren't prepared to go in as centre backs when necessary. So the whole shape of that team, the defensive mindset of the team was a complete and utter shambles. Listen, the FA need to get a proper coach in there, a long-term coach, somebody who's got the World Cup 2026 in mind, somebody who isn't just going to say, oh, look, these are all shiny, brilliant players. Let's stick them in the team and see how it goes.
But is the counter-argument, though, Adrian, that he only has these Six Nations League games, as we're thinking, to sort of impress, and this was his only chance. Hasn't got any friendlies. It has to be this sort of competitive game that if he was going to make any tweaks, if he was going to try and experiment, it was going to be one of these games coming up.
Well, he told Faker Others after it wasn't an experiment, and I'm thinking, well, what on earth was it? Was it your attempt to not get the job permanently? So, listen, I don't want to have a go at Lee Carsley. He did very well with the under-21s, but I think when you're badged up and you've been coaching as long as he has, and his mindset after playing was, I'm going to be a coach and I'm going to try and be the best coach I can be. You've got to admire that, and he's done very well so far. When you get into the senior job, and you put out a team as shapeless and as hopeless as that, I wonder what he's been doing in his coaching career. I wonder what he's been doing when he was getting badged up. It was an utterly bizarre selection. I didn't get it at all. I think it was the kind of selection that would annoy players who were left out, thinking, well, why am I not in that side? It was a team that even me, a layman, I'm not a football coach. I'm not badged up. I never played the game. To use that age-old comment, I could see defensively we were going to struggle, and boy, did we struggle. They all think they're the best player. They all want the ball. That's absolutely bang on. And I think a lot of them, even when they had the ball, didn't do very much with it. I forgot Phil Foden was playing. I'm one of Phil Foden's biggest fans. I think he's terrific. That system, that manager didn't get the best out of him last night. Cole Palmer playing deeper than a submarine, I thought was just really weird at times. And second half, he lost his way. And Jude Bellingham, yeah, he's got a goal. I don't know what you can do with Jude Bellingham, to be honest, other than stick him in midfield and say, this is your detailed role, go and do that job. He's a brilliant player. But even at the Euros, he had moments, but didn't play to his best ability. So maybe what we've got to do is say, go and get Carlo Ancelotti and just go for it. Maybe we could have got Jurgen Klopp. He was out of work. Maybe it's just one of those moments where people have a bit of clear thinking and say, okay, that wasn't the way forward. We got that wrong. Let's do what we should have done in the first place.
Spot on.
Adrian, thank you.
Thanks,
Good to get
Adrian.
you on this morning, get your thoughts after what happened at Wembley last night. You're entitled to your opinion as well this morning. 03717 2233 44. That's the number to call us on. Coming up next, who will be the next James Bond? Could it be our very own Welsh Dean Saunders?
Oh, there you go. I knew there was a reason for it. I think my name is Saunders. Dean Saunders.
talkSPORT Breakfast, waking you up Monday to Friday morning from 6 a.m. on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.